I'm still a fan even though it's salty. Hate to see you with some other broad, know you happy. Hate to see you happy if I'm not the one driving. I'm so mature, I'm so mature, I'm so mature. I got me a therapist to tell me there's other men I ain't one night. I just want you. If I can't have you, no one should.
Hi, you guys. Welcome back to the Fat Lord Club. You guys, welcome back to the Fat Lord Podcast, where we speak on all things fat. How are you today, and what made your day that way? Today, we're going to be talking about a topic that is heavily talked about on TikTok, and I want to put my 2 cents in it, but in a longer video. We're going to be talking about why I chose to be fat. Well, why I kind of sort of chose to be fat. Is it an actual choice to be fat? Of course, I got my Candy Debbie beautiful notes. My take on this. Is it a choice to be fat? No. But sometimes, yes. Let's start off by saying I can only go by my story and tell y'all what and why I did things. So if y'all want to put y'all 2 cents in the comments, please feel free to do that. For me, I'm gonna start with my story, I guess. Why I am choosing to be fat is because of the fat phobia, because of the way we get treated, fat phobia, and just like, I just love my body. Like, I don't want to look like anybody else. I really don't. And I don't want to be in a body that I should feel like I have to be validated in. I feel like I should, like, don't you know, like, I'm gonna use an example. I was in this TikTok live, and I don't know, I probably talked about it on my TikTok at some point, so if you know me from TikTok, then you probably heard of this story. But there was a girl on this TikTok live, and I was debating with this guy talking about how a broke man equals a fat woman, and yeah, that was something. And it was this co-host, and she was talking about how people keep calling me fat even though I'm not fat, and then she had put a picture of herself up on the green screen, and she was trying so hard to say, oh, I'm not fat, look, I just got a little bit of gut, y'all know. Like, ma'am, are you not making a fool of yourself? Do you not feel disgusting after doing that? Like, what? Definitely with me, I choose, like, I choose to be fat, but then again, I want to lose, how much am I? I'm 284, so I want to lose 30 pounds. So I want to get back to 250, which is still fat. And I'm excited because I am going back to the gym. But girl, working and going to the gym, clashing. But to an extent, I have not chosen to be fat. Growing up, my parents would always want to make me full. They like, I was well fed. And then being bullied on top of being bullied at home and school made me want to overeat. And then during this pandemic, the glorification of mukbangs and just having large amounts of food, I really started overeating it after watching those, and I didn't even notice. Like, I think, like, I saw a video of myself. I don't know if it was a filter or not, but my face was like this gigantic, and I was like, what was that actually what I looked like? Like, am I okay? Like, I didn't know that I could get that big. And not to say that it's a bad thing, but like, oh my gosh. Like, was I okay? My story. There, like, for me, I chose to be fat because I grew up being fat. Like, the most that I've ever been skinny was when I was in pre-K, hitting kindergarten. But that's when the weight gain started. When I started getting bullied, when I started sneaking snacks in the school, when I started sneaking snacks to bed, that's when I started getting bullied. On top of, like, I was being abused. I was being emotionally and physically abused. I was getting bullied at home. I got bullied so much. On top of the abuse, food was my comfort. But like, in as I grew up, I was getting bullied, and I stayed, like, my size made, and it's crazy to me, like, when I was like, I had to be like 8 8 or 9, I told myself I was never gonna let my thighs get that big. Like I would never, like I would keep my thighs this way or something like that. And I'm looking at myself. I'm like, girl, what the hell? You okay? But speaking on all of that, there is a difference between growing up fat and then gaining fat when you're grown. Like when you're growing up fat, there's a really high chance of you losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight. And of course, you're gonna find that correct spot of like, what the shoot, oh my gosh, you're gonna find the like perfect body that you feel good in. Like that's what I mean. Like you feel healthy, you are healthy. Like I remember losing a couple pounds, like because I was always on my phone, and I lost a lot of weight, and it did feel good. Like, and it wasn't a lot actually. It was only a little bit, but I felt good. Then I gained the weight back, of course, because like my phone got taken away because I was talking to a 30-year-old man, especially if he was white, you know. But we're not gonna talk about that. When it comes to being an adult and gaining weight, of course there's gonna be a difference because you're so used to like having weight off your body, and you're used to like, I'm not gonna say shit. Weight does carry you down. However, I don't let it carry me down. I still do shit that I want to do. I don't let it weigh me down. But certain people, like athletes or people who just like being skinny in general, when they gain weight, of course they're gonna feel horrible because y'all aren't used to the weight being on you. So of course you're not gonna be happy. Of course you're gonna be sad. Like you've never gone through this, and of course it's not gonna feel good because it's carrying what you're not used to. Excuse me. So sorry. But yeah, growing up fat and becoming fat as an adult are two separate things, and which is why I say being fat is not a choice unless you are certain that you are in the correct body. It also goes along with knowing your body. Like with me, I got to know my body at 15. Not 15, 16. I knew what I wanted to do in life. Well, not really, but I knew how I wanted my body to be. I knew that I wanted to lose 30 pounds, even though I didn't know my weight. I kept gaining weight through the pandemic because we're at home and we're eating, we're like ordering stuff, which I have a theory. I think the United States created Corona, but I ain't gonna talk about that. But what was I gonna say? I lost track of what I will just say that my biggest weight was 315, probably even higher than that. The highest that I've ever been was 330. Another reason why I think being fat is a choice is because it's literally your identity. Because that is what life is. You're supposed to figure out who you are, whether it's through your body, through your personality, through your career, through your hair, like through your clothes. Express yourself, like especially like yeah, that's what I like. You're basically finding out who you are. Like, what can you handle? What can you not handle? Like, are you supposed to be this way? How do you feel when you're not this way? Like, you are supposed to find out, like, who you are supposed to be in your body along as everything else. Because if you're sitting up here listening to what the fuck a nigga said about you, then that's not you finding yourself. That's you listening to him about who you are. If that makes sense, if y'all understand what I'm saying. Like, your body is basically a part of your identity, and if you can't show that through you, and you're showing it through other people, then of course, like, it's gonna like have. I'm going far off, but of course, it's gonna be different for everybody. I think here's the most part where everybody get confused if it's a choice or not. No, it is not a choice, because when you are in a mental state of like overeating, under eating, you're super skinny and you're overeating, you're super fat, you're overeating, you're super skinny and you're under eating, you're super fat and you're under eating, that is a problem. Because if you're at your perfect weight and you're losing and you're gaining, then that is a mental problem. And you need to figure out what's happening. I definitely will say that it is okay to gain and lose weight from the weight that you want to be. But if it's a problem to you, then you should figure out the solutions to fix it. Whether like I don't know. I know what I'm saying, but it's like my brain is just like, pew, just say everything in your brain. But what I was saying, like, if you are at your perfect weight and you're losing and gaining, like, I would figure out the problems. Like, yeah, it is definitely like praised when smaller people don't eat. And I'm going to talk about this in another podcast episode because it doesn't correlate with this. But if you're under eating and you're skinny, you will get praised. But I just had to add that in there. And also, like, there are positive weight gain. Like, when you're being well fed and you feel loved, you're going to gain the weight. Like, your body is supposed to create fat on your body. Like, you are supposed to have a pouch of fats. Like, I'm not saying like be my size, but you're supposed to gain weight. Because I saw a TikTok, everything's gonna be really different TikTok, but I saw a TikTok about a girl getting upset because she's in love and her boyfriend is like, she blames her boyfriend for making her gain weight. Which I'm so sad. Stop. Okay. Yeah. There, you can positively gain weight. That's all I gotta say. Like, yes, fat would be a choice if fat phobia did not exist. If racism, fat phobia, misogyny, and ableism did not exist, then yes, fat would be a choice. You know, my take is, yes, it is a choice for me, but at the same time, no. It all depends on where you are in life and how well you're going to be able to carry it. Fat is not something to play with, but it is because it's your body and you get to play with your body. But you have to be cautious. Y'all know what I'm saying. Because however weight carries you depending on who you are. If you're fat, you're constantly eating unhealthy, and you're constantly putting grease in your body, constantly putting salt in your body, yes, that is going to affect you. Because not only are you putting heavy grease in your body, but the fat on your body is weighing you down as well. And go away. At the same time, even with being skinny, if you're eating a good amount of grease, a good amount of salt, you are going to get diabetes. But that is also why I definitely think people get extremely confused with the difference between like overeating healthy foods and overeating junk foods and overeating grease and salt. People don't understand health. Health is not being taught. It's only being taught through one body. I feel as though a lot of smaller people are able to, stop themselves in their tracks because people are like it's like I'm gonna try to explain to y'all best as possible, but what I mean is, you know how when you're like a celebrity and as a celebrity you gotta keep up your body image. Like, if you want to play a superhero, you gotta have that body to be a superhero. You gotta look strong. And this is what I mean when I say skinny people are being upheld with their body standard. Like, they have to keep being skinny. If you're fat, people not worried about you. They're only gonna tell you to lose weight. But you're supposed to be like, you can eat what you want, but they still get like told to eat healthy and do like exercise. They get told that. That's like the whole like stereotype thing with being skinny. Like, you're supposed to be healthy, you're supposed to do this, and of course they're going to do it, and that's why they end up with the correct health, because they're pushing that onto them. However, if it was us, it's not going to be pushed on as much as them telling us to do it. They're not pushing us to do it. Like they're telling us basically incorrectly. If that makes sense. I have a ton of shit to do, and my phone is dying, so I will call y'all back as soon as I can. Yeah, you should eat what the fuck you want. Just be cautious with your body. Be sure to follow me on all my socials. TikTok at That Chubby Life. Also Kiana_.Chene. Make sure to follow me on Instagram _.Kiana.Chene _. Yes, I will link them below. But I will see you guys in the next episode. And make sure y'all subscribe and like, and let me know like what do y'all want to see. Like, I understand some people want to see the positives about being fat, but I really want to get deep down and talking about like the real shit, like how we get paid less. Like, I want to dive deep. This is more of an informational podcast where we can kiki and joke, but we still need to be like informative about what we're talking about.
I'm still a fan even though it's salty. Hate to see you with some other bro, know you happy. Hate to see you happy if I'm not the one driving. I'm so mature, I'm so mature, I'm so mature. I got me a therapist to tell me there's other men I know. One night, I just want you. If I can't have you, no